Welcome back to the show, everybody, and we've got some straight fire for you today. We've got CNBC calling out Jay Clayton live on their show, asking about the decisions he made while being the SEC chairman. We're going to hear from Empowerment Oversight Committee and how they reached out and they are suing the SEC as well, and what the SEC's response has been up until now. Couple 100 million XRP have been moved. There was a huge glitch yesterday. I thought I was going to buy a couple islands. Let's get it all sorted out. You're going to want every bit of it because John Deaton is on the Patrick Bet David show, and he talked to 3 million new eyes and ears and set it on fire, letting all of them know exactly what's going on, which is possibly the greatest financial scandal of the century. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
This is Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Subscribe for new content notifications. Now, here's Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow me on Twitter at @BackupBradleyAbove, and everything we're talking about today. $2.118 trillion market cap, ladies and gentlemen. We're off by 1.23% today. Right now, Bitcoin is at 46,800 plus. Ethereum now at 3,600 plus. Solana is at $158 and change. And Cardano is at $1.21. XRP is 78 cents. Let's take a look at the range of price right now. We are ranging between 0.7915, so we're close to the bottom currently right now, and 0.8324 on the top side. We'll keep an eye on it. Ladies and gentlemen, the numbers are brought to you by Link2.com, private investing made simple. And I'm telling you, the reason they're offering $1,000 back if you buy private equity through an Uphold wallet, if you don't have one, I'd get one. But if you buy private equity like Uphold stock or Uphold shares, or known as SPVs on that platform, or Ripple, or Link2, or any other of the great products, Abra, which was just added on there, any of those products, and you will get $1,000 of XRP put back into your wallet. If you buy Ripple private equity, you will get $1,500 worth of XRP put back in your wallet. Why are they doing that? They're doing that not because they're having a hard time selling any. It's quite the opposite. It's flying off the shelf. They're doing it to show support to the XRP community and the asset itself, to be looked at and show a use case that proves that XRP is in fact being used as a currency to buy actual private equity shares. Get some of that. Shout out to Uphold. Shout out to Link2 and everybody there and everybody on the team. Let's get into the news. There's a lot to go over, ladies and gentlemen. 286 million XRP shifted by Ripple and top exchanges. Where's it all going when the U.S. retailer is handcuffed like never before for the last year? I find it fascinating. I'll tell you what else I find fascinating too. We are 327 days into America crypto innovation under siege since the SEC versus Ripple case was filed. We have an incredible clip from CNBC with Jay Clayton being confronted about his decision to sue Ripple, and John Deaton, who absolutely set it on fire on Patrick Bet David podcast. Now, take a look here. This is ProCoin News, cryptocurrency curator. I'm telling you, I would follow them. They have so many stories covering this entire space. They are remarkable. Make sure you give them a follow. Yesterday, speaking of ProCoin News, and I shared this as well, there was a glitch going on in CoinMarketCap data and Coinbase platform, and it showed XRP listed at $22,608,470.79 a coin. I asked for them to clear it up a little bit because if that was right, I was going to be shopping for a few islands around Hawaii. That's what was going on there. But we find out, obviously, it was a glitch. I think we all knew that, but just to cover it. Here is something that is not a glitch. Casino Coin makes its way to another exchange, ladies and gentlemen, now on Hotbit. I hold Casino Coin. I love Casino Coin. I've been no stranger about saying it. I have not received any funds or any sponsorship from Daniel or the CSC team. I'm just a fan of it. And I'm letting you know right now that with the new appointee of the CEO, Mark Robson, who is really the equivalent of a Brian Brooks here in the United States, has been made the CEO now of that company to lead Casino Coin to a new horizon. I'm very excited about that. Looking right here, here's more new horizons. Kevin Durant has signed a multi-year deal with crypto platform Coinbase. He'll appear in ads and there'll be crypto content on his site Boardroom. Making the masses and get know about crypto and normalizing the masses, I should have said. And that's what we're seeing here. And this is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And let me tell you something else is getting bigger too. Shout out to Thinking Crypto for this interview, because the SEC versus Ripple and the potential conflict of interest, the appearance of impropriety is now being pursued by the Empowerment Oversight lawsuit that has been put into play now. This is Jason Foster interview with Tony from Thinking Crypto. I want to give you just a couple snippets of this excellent conversation that Tony had here. Shout out to you, Tony. Let's take a listen really quickly here. And in fact, let me just level set here. For those of you who don't know, Empowerment Oversight is a nonprofit that has access to pursue for Freedom of Information Act when they think there's something wrong. They deal with whistleblowers in certain agencies and things of that nature when there's wrongdoing going on. And they have been very successful in the past in many different areas. And they are now challenging the SEC on the conflict of interest from Jay Clayton and William Hinman at the SEC at the time of suing Ripple and the Ethereum Free Pass. Let's take a look to this clip right here.
I have a concern that there's a potential conflict here. Well, why don't we just look for communications with the ethics office and communications with their, the people that they went to work for or the people that they used to work for. And let's just ask for those, because there isn't any deliberative, when you're talking about communications with outsiders or communications with the ethics office, a lot of that's not going to be deliberative process privilege.
So he's telling you they're looking and have requested from the SEC and the Freedom of Information Act, they have requested any communications that have happened externally with different respective companies like Simpson Thacker, One River, things of that nature, Ethereum Alliance, and things of that nature. And the SEC, up until then, had told them to go fly a kite. They weren't going to give them anything, right? Stalling as much as they possibly could. Now, let me bring you up here to the 20-minute mark. And trust me when I tell you, this entire thing is very good. So, but let's go here just for the sake of time. We have a lot to listen to. Check it out.
Getting any communications from the SEC other than here's 2 categories of your 8 categories that we already did our search for and we couldn't find anything. But there was no indication and no, a lot of times agencies will actually communicate with you and they'll tell you, we've pulled this many records, we've got this many that we're going through, they're being reviewed, it's going to take us some time. And if you get a sense that they're actually cooperating, then you can be more patient. Mm-hmm. But we basically heard nothing other than here's these 2 categories where there's nothing. And then it's radio science, and then they denied our, then they tried to charge us a bunch of money and then they changed their mind on that after we appealed. But other than that, we had no, it wasn't like we were getting a FOIA officer calling us and saying, okay, I've gathered, we got 10,000 records. We got to go through them and figure out which exemptions we can redact what for, there was nothing. So, so we looked into, enforcing our rights to the documents in court and ended up drafting the complaint and filing it. We filed it last Wednesday. We announced it Friday morning. And within 2 hours, actually, I'll give you some news that we haven't announced yet. So within 2 hours after us or so of us announcing publicly that we had filed the suit, we actually got responses on 2 more of our 8 categories from the SEC. I
wonder what sparked that response.
I don't know if it was the press release or if it was just, happenstance, but they did discover. If you look at, actually, I don't know, you might want to put this up on the screen later for your viewers, but if you look at pages 6 and 7 of our complaint in district court, we have there listed what all of our requests were.
And listen to what these requests are.
So the first 2 that they had told us before we filed that they hadn't found any records on were the ones that are listed there on page 7 as F and H. So when we filed our suit, we were still, we hadn't had any response from them on A, B, C, D, E, and G. Well, 2 hours after we filed, they told us, oh, yeah, we also don't have any records for A and B. So A and B are the ones where we were seeking communications with Hinman, any communications between Hinman and Simpson Thatcher, and B rather is where we were seeking any communications between Hinman and the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance. So those are the two additional ones after we made our announcement on Friday that they have now said they also have no responsive documents for. So that leaves 4 categories out of the 8 where we still don't have a reply from them. And those are the ones that we're still going to be pressing them for.
So this ain't over by a long shot. And it doesn't mean that those communications actually aren't there, that exist in some other form of communication, not directly through the SEC itself. This is not over by a long shot. One of the most incredible things about this, and I want to put it right here, and it's just 10 seconds or so, and listen to what he says here in this communication.
How do we fix this as well? Maybe it's more.
I wish I had a magic wand. I think you just have to do the hard work. That's why FOIA is a great thing. Anybody can file a FOIA request.
Did you hear what he just said? FOIA is a great thing, Freedom of Information Act, and anybody can file a FOIA. I didn't know that. That's interesting. There'll be more on that. But the bigger part of this is that the Empower Oversight Committee here, Foundation, is suing the SEC. That is added pressure onto the SEC on top of the SEC Ripple lawsuit and on top of the John Deaton XRP holders class action lawsuit. This is mounting up. Then we add in the mainstream media getting into this. Rosalind Layton from Forbes. Then we saw Charles Gasparino come in, Eleanor Terrett, Liz Clayman from Fox Business. Now you're about to stumble across CNBC in this whole thing too, because now they're asking the questions. I want you to watch this exchange here and listen to Becky Quick talk about the fact that she's being bombarded about this topic and Jay Clayton's intentions and involvement behind what the decision to sue Ripple was all about. Listen to this.
Jay, let me ask you about something that it winds up in my Twitter feed constantly. I've tried to look into it and done a little research on it. There's this argument about an action that the SEC brought on your last day as the chair of the SEC. This was the one to go after Ripple Labs executives, the CEO, the general counsel, and others, and kind of come after them for some sales that they had planned and whether they were upfront. There has been all kinds of speculation because Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO, the general counsel, have been very public in their pushing back and fighting the SEC on this. And they've done some mudslinging and said that you and others at the SEC were compromised in this decision, that you had input that was coming in from people who are maybe Ethereum fans or others along the way. I get this question constantly. I just want to put it to you. What happened and what do you say to those accusations?
Well, Becky, I'm not going to comment on any pending investigation or action in front of the SEC. I think you know that. We've discussed that in the past. And look, it's America. People have the right to defend themselves. They have the right to their opinion. And I'm not going to engage in that either. I think as government officials, you do the best you can. You let the facts stand where they are. And I'm going to leave it at that.
Can we talk more broadly just about crypto? Because Gary Gensler is looking at crypto as a space he really wants to make sure they're kind of getting into the weeds on it and finding to set some rules around this. And he's somebody who knows this pretty well. He obviously taught a course on it at MIT, so he's not kind of lumbering around blindly on this. Are we going to see much greater restrictions or at least much greater rules of the road when it comes to crypto?
Becky, crypto, and it's a wide variety of products and a wide variety of functions, touches on many areas. capital raising and the trading of securities is one area where the SEC touches it. I have long believed that the rules in that area are fairly clear and longstanding. If you are raising capital publicly for a project, you generally have to register those sales, that capital raising, with the SEC. If you're trading securities, it needs to be done on a regulated venue. There are many other aspects of crypto, whether it's stable coins that are not securities or other tokenized elements of our society that will be outside of the SEC's purview.
Just to be clear before he finishes this little filibuster here to get off the subject, the real thing here that fascinates me is I'm glad that Jay Clayton is clinging to if you're raising money to make profits off of the others. Well, that's exactly what Ethereum did, Jay. And then you went on to work for One River, which looks extremely, extremely questionable.
This is a whole of government approach. And let me say this, I am a huge believer in this technology. I think that the efficiency benefits in the financial system and otherwise from tokenization are immense. And I would look for the government to be both reactive in terms of people who are violating our clear laws, but proactive in encouraging the adoption of this technology throughout our financial system. There are billions of dollars of transactions in tokenized form taking place each day where people have an incredibly high degree of confidence. We should look at that and think about what that means for our financial system.
You know, this just won't go away, right? Because now CNBC has dipped their toe into the water, and I'm encouraging them that they are on the edge of the financial story of the century. Press on. Hashtag EthGate. William Hinman and Jay Clayton absolutely benefited from the Ethereum free pass by the SEC, using the Hinman speech as guidance while holding other projects to a higher standard, allowing billions of dollars to be launched off the Ethereum network, to then go on and work for entities that benefited from those decisions. That is extremely questionable, ladies and gentlemen, and it gets even bigger because Jeremy Hogan says it best right here. Clayton, on his decision to file the Ripple lawsuit on his last day in chair, I'm not going to comment, not I can't comment, or I'm not allowed to comment. He just doesn't want to talk about it for his own personal reasons. Things that make you go, and it gets bigger because John Deaton was just on the Patrick Bet David show dropping bombs, letting 3 million new eyes and ears get a glimpse into what is going on about the appearance of impropriety with this entire situation that has happened. Listen to this clip and a couple more here, very short. Listen to this.
And many other types of IPOs. Bill Hinman comes in. Jay Clayton is from firm Sullivan and Cromwell, okay? And Bill Hinman is from Simpson Thacher. Well, immediately in December of 2017, Sullivan and Cromwell represents the co-founder of Ethereum, Joe Lubin, and Consensus. And Bill Hinman has a meeting with them, and they start talking. Immediately, the very next day, Consensus general counsel gets up and starts talking about how they're building this alliance with the SEC. They go on to have 4 to 5 more meetings with Consensus and the co-founders of Ether with Bill Hinman. Bill Hinman's firm is a member.
And that's the first clip right there, but let's go. So he's laying down the straight fire. Listen to this follow-up right here from him, right here.
Lobbying for a Ethereum free pass. Right? They want to say, hey, Ethereum, yeah, we maybe did an ICO because it was the world's first ICO, but it's sufficiently decentralized. So Jay Clayton then tells Andreessen Horowitz, which is a huge investor in crypto, right? They have the $2.2 billion fund, big Ether backers. He says, write a memo up for us and tell us what you want. They write a memo and a safe harbor proposal. There are multiple meetings that take place. A secret meeting in March of 28th of 2018, and it gets leaked because there's some stuff going on in there. And they propose a safe harbor for crypto, but the only crypto they mention is Ether. Lobbying.
And there's that. Now, let it bring it home right here. Listen to this.
Very high up at the SEC, gives his infamous speech where he says, setting aside the fundraising that took place with Ether, it is sufficiently decentralized today, and therefore current sales of Ethereum are no longer considered a security. He goes on CNBC and he says, well, you know, when we look at Ethereum, we don't see a third-party promoter. You just had a meeting with him.
It's a backroom deal.
You just had meetings with him. He had a
There it is. You just had meetings with him. They don't see a third party, is what William Hinman said. But they were meeting with them. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a damn shame when you don't have the truth on your side. But we do. And this only gets bigger, and it only gets uglier from here. I would encourage either Jay Clayton or William Hinman or Joseph Lubin or Mike Novogratz, who is an investor in this thing and not a developer, and bought for profit an unregistered security, it would appear, from the first ICO, as John Deaton said, that one of these gentlemen put the shovel down. When you're digging yourself a hole, the first thing you should do is set the shovel down. And not too long from now, this kind of pressure is going to continue to build. And I'm telling you right now, somebody's going to start talking in order to get their own ass out of the hole they've been digging. That's going to do it for me. Hit the like and subscribe, leave a comment below, share with somebody you know, hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Check out all the links in the description and comment section. They are trusted, vetted links of products and services I use each and every day. I'll catch all of you on the next one.